Good evening, everyone. I know we are. I'm in there too early. What am I doing here? Sorry. About to sneeze too. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me, just that feeling in my nose about to sneeze. The worst possible time. And I wouldn't mind, but I sat here for literally 3 minutes and I didn't sneeze. And now I feel like I'm about to sneeze. It's just typical. As soon as you're about to go live. Just very typical stuff. But anyway, I hope we're all well. Happy Saturday. Sean, you got notifications, did you? Or were you just waiting for me? How is things, Sean? How is our Saturday going? Are we looking forward to now Christmas? Because quite literally, it's only a few days now away. The man from Finland is coming down the chimney. That sounds a bit dangerous. Got notification, Pog Chap. Brutal weather. Well, it's not that. Well, what are you talking? It's actually not that bad. Like, probably up in Donegal, yeah, there's probably snow or whatever. Well, not snow, but rain and stuff. It actually didn't rain here at all today. It maybe rained this morning for a while, but it didn't. It wasn't too bad, but like it's just been dull. If that makes any sense, it hasn't like just been raining and stuff. So, which is not bad. Hello, Ozisha. How are you doing? Yeah, I got a haircut. I needed to kind of get one anyway. Just before Christmas, because the next time probably going to be February. That's the next time. I don't go every month to get a haircut. Last time I got it was just before I went to see Santa Mountain that time. Which is be like October, yeah. It was October, the end of October. Thank you. I hope I look well. I don't know. So, geez, you must have different weather than me today, because it actually didn't rain. It probably rained maybe a minute or two earlier on this morning, but it wasn't that bad. Like, it was decent enough day. Like, it wasn't like sun shining and stuff like that, but it was alright. It was just kind of dull, but it wasn't bad. But at the same time, it could be worse. Like at this time of year. Like the other day, what day was it? Friday? No, yeah, Friday was bad. Yeah, Friday was raining here a good bit. But typical when I'm inside, it doesn't rain. Like I was here pretty much all day, apart from getting my hair cut. So yeah, we finally have the big reveal. I'm sure people have seen it on the channel. If not, then we have to deal with it. I'm only joking. But no, I'm sure you have seen that it's up. That it's finally up after about 21 hours. You know, definitely bad. Yeah, but it's probably making its way up to cavan because we're up the country. We're more higher up here in this part of the country. Because we're not going to go down, but it's too miserable. Yeah, the rain just couldn't be bothered to come near cavan. They're mean enough. Stingy, you could say that. I'm just thinking of a quote from the book that was something, but yeah, he's probably seen it anyway. I don't know how many people's going to watch that video, but yeah, it was 21 hours. It took 21 hours, so that's why I haven't been here much this week, because it just took an insane amount of time. And pretty much we have it done. Like the good thing about the video, it's finally done. But originally I planned to only go out Tuesday. So basically have it done before I wanted to do it. And the only reason why is because we just basically threw hundreds of hours. Well, not hundreds of hours, but threw 20 hours at it. So that's only how we got it done. Because we just basically threw hours at it. You watched the fair bit, well, thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate it. Because it took, like as I said, it took 20 hours. And there was a lot, particularly when you're working full time. And you're coming home and eating your recording. Like it wouldn't, like that, what was it, Wednesday night or was it Tuesday night? Like I went on recording to 1 o'clock in the morning pretty much. And I took out bits and all that. Like it was 1 o'clock in the morning and I had work the next morning. So it was a long old time. Like it was just constantly. And then there's bits, like the footage alone, like the footage it's only 4 hours, 25 minutes. Like the outtakes and stuff, like there's another 4 hours of that, like outtakes and things they've cut. Like the pandemic bit that I talked about in her book was supposed to be 40-something minutes. It's only 35 minutes. It was nearly 50 minutes, basically. So a lot of it was cut, like just to reduce the time. Because if I didn't reduce it, it would have been 6 hours, like at least, I know. Even though it was another 4, it would have been 8 hours in total if I kept all the outtakes and stuff in it. but it would have been probably 6 hours if I kept everything, even though things were relevant that I took out and stuff. It was just simply far too long. But it was an in-depth analysis. It wasn't like just touching the surface of it, which is the first one that's been done on. Like I don't even think the journalists that covered it for the Swedish newspapers and the American newspapers, I don't even think they covered it as in depth as me. I might have left out a few things, of course, because it would have been here for another, it would have been 6 hours long. Like, I'm not even joking, it would have been 6 hours long if I would have kept it. Even longer if I would have took. But basically, I took my time too. I didn't rush too much, like in terms of rushing things. But it was a long time. Because see, the original plan, I'm sure you heard it before. I was hoping this would be my first video with the new wall, if that makes sense. Not the new wall, but the new painted wall. But that didn't happen. So my original plan when I did meet Santa Mountain, that it was going to take 3 or 4 weeks to record, like the view for the books, and it would take me time doing it. But you see, we left it too late, and then pretty much we had to wash it out the door. Even though we did have it done before Tuesday, because Tuesday was only supposed to come out. But simply because I just put so much time into it to try and get it done, because I was afraid if I left it too long, to Tuesday, you wouldn't get it done. Because I still had to do my Christmas shopping and stuff like that. So I was thinking about that too in the background. Because it is hard. It's different when you're sitting at home, you have loads of time. If you were a YouTuber like full time, if that makes any sense, you would have time to record and stuff. But when you work when you're up early in the morning at 6, 5 o'clock some mornings, and start at 8 o'clock, and then you get home at 4, 5 o'clock, you don't have much time. And then when you get something to eat, it's a good bit out of your day, especially because it was all during the week pretty much. Yesterday was the only day really that had some time, because I get off at 3:30 on a Friday. But you get some extra time to do it, like to finish it off. But yeah, so I do appreciate it, even if you're watching in the background, anybody. I do appreciate it because it was absolutely it was the biggest video that we're probably ever going to do. I don't think any other video can top that, like how long it will take. We might release the outtake someday, because that's another 4 hours. So we might do it because some of them are funny. Like some of them might just go on a rant, I suppose. We're not about Santa Mountain, like the book. It's about just the criticism and stuff about some people. So, hello, Gordon. Sorry, go on. But I'm very proud. It's a good video. I would stand by it. There might be 1 or 2 things that I didn't mention and stuff in different chapters, but mainly due is just the time. Like if I went on and on and on, we would have been here all night. Hello, Gordon. Your video is finally up now, so you were looking forward to the review. I vaguely remember you saying that. But yeah, it was a lot of work for just under a few days. Like we started this Monday, and we have it done by Saturday. So hello, Fiona. So it was an awful lot of work, but I do appreciate everybody watching it because it's not like I'm making money for it or anything. Like I'm making no money from it. There's no ads or anything on it. Even though anybody else would probably put ads on it because it was an insane amount. And obviously I had my editor help me out, Davey. And I do want to thank you if he's here for it's help me with some of it. Like putting it together, if that makes sense. Because there was a lot of footage and stuff to put together. So I'm thankful for him. But yeah, like I'm not making any money from it. Like I had to pay Davey to do it and stuff. That makes any sense. Like it's not like I'm making a profit from it. It makes sense. So it's more just a passion project. And I suppose I owe it to Santa Mountain too. For getting a signed book and stuff. I owe it. That's the way I see it now. Looking forward to like I like it's fair to say, as somebody said earlier on, it's fair to say if it wasn't clear before, the Santa Mountain's biggest Irish fan, it's very clear now. Like not many people would willingly spend 20 hours or so writing up a video about a book and stuff, and especially because in some of the parts, like very passionately defended it. Like looking back on it, like when I was speaking about it and stuff, but looking back after it was all said and done and recorded, like at some parts I was very, very passionate about what I was saying. Like I was very straightforward and very saying this was not right, etc. Like very determined stuff in some of the parts. Like if you watch it, especially about the scandals bit. The scandals bit is the longest part. It's 30-something minutes, 35 minutes, yeah. Like basically half an hour, but it could have been longer. Like the scandals bit, I think was nearly an hour, and then we cut bits. But very, something else. But yeah, I'm very proud of it. It was a lot of work. It worked out well, but unfortunately, I don't know. It's not going to do probably that well, of course. But I don't think so, because I don't think YouTube's going to recommend it that much. So, but we can only hope, I suppose. But it'd be nice to see it do wellish, But as I say, I'm not getting any money from it, and I don't want any money from it. But it'd be nice just to see it do well, a small bit. Because there was no time to do anything else this week. There's hundreds of other things that needs to be talked about. But we'll probably wait until Monday because we're backlogged a bit in some stuff. Particularly about that Farrell and cavan Sean McEwen, that former councillor. They have a bone to pick there. So that can wait until Monday before I start tackling that. Also, don't question this. Hello, Neve. But no, I do appreciate it, Sean. You watching a bit of it. I appreciate it because there's an awful lot. Like Greenface said, it's Holy Mary or some Holy Mac. Yeah, it was 4 hours and 25 minutes. Well, I'm a bit. To be totally honest, I'm a bit tired after it all. I'm not gonna lie to you because, as I said, it was what was it? I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, like I was literally up until 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had work, and I was up at 5 to go to work and stuff. So it was a lot of work. Even though I wasn't recording, I was writing bullet points. Like I have about nearly 30 pages of bullet points and stuff to say and stuff like that. Like it was insane. And then even just recording and practicing, and then reading through some. Like it was a lot of work for especially the 30 hours. Like we kind of rushed it out because we wanted to get out before Christmas Eve. But it was tiring. I will admit, I am tired after it all. Because we only finished it pretty much last night. We put the finishing touch this morning to it, and that was that. But it was a lot of work, especially for such a short period of time. But as I say, the reason why we put it out today, we could have done a lot more. What I mean by that is, I could have took my time recording it too, because we didn't have to have it on the Tuesday. But with Christmas coming up, I have to do my shopping and stuff, and I wanted to get it out of the way. Because something else come up. Like literally, even before I went live here, I had a neighbour call to me with Christmas stuff for Christmas, and that took up nearly an hour of my time there just before I live. If that makes any sense. So, say if I was recording this evening, I would have had to take an hour out to talk to the neighbour. They came around with goods and stuff. You get what I'm saying? It would have been inappropriate just to say go away. I'm recording a video. No bother me. Thank you. Do your mopping. You had to make sure the place is spick and span. I want to see them floors shining. But so we can finally talk because I know Wednesday I didn't. I was kind of just. I think that was the time it was live Wednesday. Yeah, when I spent that so long. It was a long time now. But if there's any questions or anything, like I know it's an awful long video, but if anybody wants me to clarify something, because sometimes maybe my point's not clear, but I think it was very, very clear in a lot of stuff. I was extremely clear on this in a lot of stuff, like very, very clear. So squeaky clean. Laughing all the way. But yeah, so I suppose we move on to the Epstein files. So long story short, like she lost her blindness for a day, but she got it back. Like she's not blind now, of course. But she did. I did talk about it a lot, particularly that section where I talked about what exactly was. I think it was the Lonan Cove, chapter the Lonan Cove, I think it was. Where she talks about like the symptoms of the stress and stuff, of course, and the long hours, etc. What triggered it? Yeah, just overwork, like really, really just overworked. Like just overworked and no sleep, etc. A lot. I would say it's stress. I think stress is the main cause of it. Like just extreme amount of stress. So that was during COVID and stuff and the lockdowns and all that. Like I do address it in the book. I can't remember exactly when, what time stamp, but I do address. I talk about it literally for about 4 minutes, particularly them points. And she says about she had an upset stomach and stuff. Basically, had just stomach just felt sick all the time, and of course her weight loss, etc. She talked about her weight loss, due to just the sheer stress and stuff. So yeah, it was just the stress and just the pressure and stuff, and it's a common enough symptom, especially when you're under such strain. I didn't lack of sleep too. As she says, she was only getting a few hours sleep. She did say in her book too, and I talked about it, that she was up for 55 hours. I think it was actually, sorry, was it? Yeah, it was 55 hours, basically 3 days, non-stop at one stage, when she went to Japan. And she was saying about that. So obviously they take your toll. They take a toll. Especially then when you have a young daughter at the same time too, you remember too. It wasn't easy, I don't think. It's a classic, yeah, it's a classic. Like I got this, would you believe, when you see the end, like don't go to the end of the video. But at the end, like literally the last chapter, I was supposed to get this before the recording, right? And it didn't happen. So I got it literally the last chapter. Just when I was recording the last chapter, I came in the door. Is she married? No, she isn't, but she was married and then she got a divorce from her ex-husband. Not due to anything, just she talks about it in her book too, like just because it goes back to, and again, the prime ministership. As she says in her book, her relationship with her ex-husband, basically because she was working so much, and basically she couldn't talk to her husband about many things, because obviously she couldn't talk about policies of the Finnish government or different things, because obviously they're classified information. She can't share it with anybody. She talks about how they drifted apart, I suppose. No, she's not a favorite. She has a boyfriend at the moment. So that's kind of, she doesn't talk about it in the book, but yeah. But she does have a boyfriend at the moment. The Finnish media love talking about it, but anyway. But she talks about in the book. Like a lot of people did say, and I talked a lot about it, particularly when she mentioned about it, that a lot of people said, "Oh, she cheated on her husband and stuff." She didn't. She was the prime minister. She didn't have time to go doing anything pretty much, because she was basically so busy as prime minister. Like as she said, she barely seen her husband too when she was the prime minister, because she was just here, there, and everywhere. And I think that's the thing you have to realize too when you're a politician, so particularly such as a prime minister. You have to go to Brussels, you have to go here, you have to go there. It's a lot of work. Like it is a lot of running around the place. And that's really how she got her divorce from her husband, because they just didn't. The connection broke, I suppose. The relationship broke down. And you have to remember, she was with her ex-husband for literally 19 years, the majority of her life, since she was at secondary school. So it's a long, long time. It's not like it was only a 5-minute relationship. It was a long, long time. And of course, she does say in the book too, they're still the best of friends. Like she still deems him as her best friend. And of course, her daughter is related to him too. Yeah, but no, this is the thing. Yeah, but when I suppose your connection breaks and stuff like that, your connection, because you lose touch, I suppose, to each other. Because again, it was just constantly, especially with all the stuff going on at that time. That makes any sense. So it just probably didn't work out. The relationship probably just with the sheer strain on it, I suppose, because of everything. But she talks about it in the book, and I do talk about it in the review. I can't give. I think it's near the end. It's near enough the end. Yeah, it is. Where is it? Just so I know. It's near enough the end. Like pretty much is the end. Sorry, because there's that much stuff. Yeah, it is 238. 238. We are still fighting under that chapter. If you go to my video, we're still fighting the chapter. Like it's in the description. Yeah, like of course some women do, but it wasn't that so much. Like you have to understand the prime ministership, and particularly Sanna Marin, like compared to leaders say of today in Finland. like she was under extreme pressure with COVID and the war in Ukraine, and then Finland joining NATO. Like it was just constantly, just around the clock. That makes any sense. Um, we're not that far golden yet, not yet, but but you get what I'm saying. I don't think it was that. Like I don't think it wasn't that. I think she would have said that. It's just that they didn't see eye to eye. I suppose the connection broke, um, and they couldn't really mend it. Oh, he did support. Like like you have to remember, her ex-husband literally was with her for 19 years. Like she like sits there in the secondary school, just to say, like it's not just a thing. Like he even at the beginning of the book, she says about asking her husband should she go for the prime ministership, and he said overwhelmingly yes. So, um, so I do think he did support. Like in fairness, he did. Um, like he basically rewrote his life too, like just to help Sam Marin out. Like she talks nothing but good praise of him. Yeah, like she did, like it's not like a hostile relationship, and still to this day. Like she talks very fondly of her ex-husband compared to other women. Like she talks very fondly and stuff. Um, like she says a lot, particularly about it. Like there's one particular line. Like she talks a lot. There's a lot of quotes I could give you now. But yeah, no, there's a lot of quotes I could give you, but she talks very fondly of her ex-husband. Like it's not like a hostile thing. Like I think she in the book described him. Um, she described him in a lot of ways, but pretty much very positively. But I do think he's supported enough. Like in fairness to him, Marcus, I do think he done his best. Like he did support him, but it was just the prime ministership. Like I don't think you understand really in the way. I don't think any of us kind of understand. It was just the sheer strain because of basically she wasn't there half the time because of the prime ministership. Yeah, and it was just as Gordon says. Then he says right. It was just a connection broke pretty much because just the sheer lack of communication. Because the barely, as she said in the book, she barely seen him sometimes. Like during the NATO process when they were joining NATO, she barely seen him. Like, and even when she did see him, like she couldn't talk to him about say joining NATO, specific details and stuff or different things that were happening in Finland because it was classified information. She couldn't tell her husband, this thing's happening in Finland, or the government is considering doing this because it's the same as Leo the Link. You can't, you can't really say, like as we know about Leo leaked documents to his friend. You can't do that. Um, you know, so it's the same with Sam and Marin. No, there's no Irish politician. No, I think it would be criminal to put an Irish politician on your t-shirt. Like, there's not one I would put on. Like, none of them are any good, pretty much. Yeah, Norma Foley's hairdresser needs to be arrested too. Like she needs to be arrested. And Norma Foley needs to be arrested too. The whole lot of them need to be arrested. For crimes against humanity. But that's just to answer your question about her ex-husband. Like personally, look, like I do think he done his best, like with everything going on. And of course, they still a child together. You have to remember too. But there's not like they split the time evenly. That's what the daughter. But they did talk about was Russian trolls pretty much saying that she cheated on her husband and stuff, which wasn't true. It's not true at all. Then a few other things that went on discussing about that too. Yeah, I do think, personally, just speaking, I do think he done his best, in supporting her. But it was just you have to remember there was a lot going on when Sandra was prime minister. Even if you just look at the scandals, and which you even call them scandals, but and then the NATO accession and COVID and the war in Ukraine, it was a lot of work. But I do think he did support her all the way. That's my view, I know of him. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, as Gordon just said there, they're on a very good terms. She described in his book, in her book, 3 or 4 times, as her best friend. And particularly, I can't remember whereabouts it was, but she said about Emma, her daughter, he has with him. A greatest gift. I think that's the way she describes it, the greatest gift. I'm having the wonderful, beautiful daughter. That's just the quote Anna Mowen. Very fun. It's not anything hostile. Saying we see a lot of that. Of course, but it seems to be very. And of course, you have to remember too. It wasn't the thing I went to in Helsinki, the one at Charlie Gold's event. There was another event in the university, and then there was an event later that night at a restaurant, and he went, the ex-husband, to it, to do with the book. So she invited him there, so it's not like they're on bad terms. Because I'm sure she wouldn't have invited them to a book thing. Hello, good evening. How are you keeping? Top haircut, thank you. Yeah, it is well enough, and I'm happy that. But as I said in the video, along with and this is particularly to do with the Tony Blair Institute near the end, just to say too. But what I'm trying to say is, along as Anna Mowen's happy, and along as she gets, as she says herself, when I was there at the event in Helsinki, she hopes to spend more time this year coming in 2026 with her family. And of course, she can spend more time now, obviously not being the prime minister in politics. But as long as she's happy, and that's really all. Whatever she wants to do, of course, I will support her. I think I owe it to her at this point. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the Tony Blair Institute, I will be honest. But if Sandra Mowen wants to stay there, if Sandra Mowen wants to do anything, she can do it. I support her. I think that's what you should do when you support somebody. You trust them to do the. You support them whatever they do. I think that's the most fairest thing to do. But yeah, moving on to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I'm sure we all know about the Jeffrey Epstein files. Pretty much half of it, there's literally 100 pages redacted, just black marks, just literally blackened. And this was not done to protect the victims. You think they would blacken maybe 1 or 2 names of the whole page, saying to protect the victims. But this was done, as Fox News reported, to protect political politicians and civil servants, etc. Emails? Which emails? What emails? Oh, you're talking about the Jeffrey Epstein files? Oh, yeah, Kennedy said to gun him too, yeah. But it's disgusting because Donald Trump, the Department of Justice, have taken back one of the photos. What do I mean by that? They've deleted it off their website, showing Donald Trump in one of the Epstein files. So Donald Trump is definitely something to hide. But not even that, they've broken the law. They've literally broken the law of the Trump administration because it was demanded by Congress that they release every file, everything, literally everything, before yesterday, and they didn't do that. We barely got 3% of the files. There's still literally probably 97% to go of the files, and they're the bad things, I'm sure, presumably. That's why they didn't want to release them. But long story short, they've literally broken the law because Congress have said they must do it. Yeah. Smooth as straight enough seeking. With the hair channel now. Remember, but the courage to lead. It's a family-friendly channel. Yeah, like there's a lot of photos of Bill Clinton, but we all pretty much knew that Bill Clinton was in bed with Jeffrey Epstein. For the woman, excuse me. I know last time, literally, when I got a haircut in October, like quite literally a few days later, I went over to see Santa Marin. So don't put two and two together. Don't make assumptions. What I'm trying to say. So where is this thing? Just to show you. Also, read this actually. Like this is the Google AI. You know the way you have the AI thing. Like somebody said this to me. Like just read this. Also has connections with Irish figures like Adrian Logan and Cavan. Like specifically me. Like everybody else they mentioned me. Like literally, you see it there. Like literally, meanwhile, it's just connections with an Irish figure like Adrian Logan. And I think it says down here. No, it doesn't say it. Like in the thing. No, it doesn't. That's another one. There's another actually one too. Like connections. What is connections? What does that mean? What are they presuming here? What is Google trying to tell me? Or what did they know? Hello, Greenface. How are we doing? You're still watching probably that 4-hour documentary. Your Irish connection. That's what Google thinks. But who are they? Are they looking at my chats? Are they looking at my emails? We better not have the Sana files released because then I'm in trouble. Allegedly, of course, all allegedly. But there was another one. Let me just find it because a few people have kind of looked it up, like in the Google AI, because the Google AI is becoming dangerous. We need to shut it down. Seasons greeting, hello Greenface. But yeah, it's a long video. Like I seen you send a Holy Mary. Like that's not even half it. Like you should see the outtakes. Like the outtakes would be another 8. Like it would be another 4 hours, which would be 8 hours. So that's not even coming close, unfortunately. And then this one, like I got this one too. Somebody sent me this one. I don't know. Now this is the most weirdest one. Like they're clearly mentioning me. Like you see their political things. An Irish local in Cavan. What does it say actually? Exactly. I zoom in on it. She's mentioned it in Irish political discussions, global leadership, and after even attracting attendance from Irish locals in Cavan. What the fuck? Like like see you there. Like you can see it there. Like she's mentioned in Irish discussions about her geopolitical leadership and attracting direction. Attention, sorry, from Irish locals in Cavan. Like you can see that there. Like, what does that mean? What does that even mean? But we all know who that's referencing to. Like I'm pretty much just being referenced there by center here. Like you can see it there. Like I don't know if you can see that well, but like quite literally, Irish locals in Cavan. That could be mentioned about me meeting her too. Like it was like well talked about. It's well discussed at this point. YouTube police everywhere. Which me you mean? Or what do you mean? Like they're always kind of watching me. Yeah, like that. I'm not even looking these up. It's other people's looking them up. Like if I look it up here, see, it'll probably not show me now. But after I say about it, Like, look at this. Like, yeah. Like, this is not even like this is obviously my phone, but it's not like let me see. Yeah, and speakers. Irish figures, like yeah, like I mentioned twice in this, like just to say, like I just looked it up there. Oh, you can see it there. I mentioned the top Irish figures like Adrian Logan and tech copies like such have engaged with her. Like that sounds even worse. Engaged with her. What? That sounds even worse. What is the AI trying to tell me here? Or what are they alleging? And then it goes on to local figures such as Cav and Adrian Logan have expressed admiration for her since like look at this, like you know. So yeah, like I'm literally mentioned twice. Like at this stage, like Santa Mountain is literally like me Hot Mountain is like when he met us just gone out the window. Um, so there you go. So it's fair to say I'm the most famous Irish person that's met Santa Mountain. I'm officially taking that title. And also, I think I have the right to claim the title of Santa Mountain's biggest Irish supporter. I think we can agree on that. Like I think I've pretty much claimed that title today. By that video, like particularly that video released today, like definitely 100%. I've kind of owned that one. But yeah, no, it's absolutely insane. Like people just keep sending me these things. Like if you look a bit Santa Mountain, like Ireland or Santa Mountain Irish and stuff, so straight away my name comes up. So it's absolutely insane. Yeah, so I don't know what the AI is trying to presume, or what they know. What does the AI know? They know too much. Shut it down, lads. But this is the thing. There could be the Santa files. We don't want the Santa files releasing. Or the Adrian files. We don't want that. Of course, it's all a hoax and stuff. There's no such thing as the Adrian files and stuff. It doesn't exist. Also, Donald Trump just actually say, what was that about him saying the files don't exist? They never existed. It's Democrat. It's a hoax. Like, if it's a hoax, then how how is all these files? Like, there's hundreds of files. Say nothing. I need to get a lawyer involved. But yeah. Yeah, like the majority, like I do think it's nearly comes up at this stage. Like if you type in Ireland or Irish and Santa Marin, like I do think it does come up because the majority of people, like I've been said this 3 or 4 times at this stage, actually more than that at this stage. And it's not just on my phone, especially when you look it up. It's like sometimes it might not come up, but I've only looked it up 3 or 4 times. And pretty much nearly all the time I've looked it up, but my name was mentioned somewhere, which is insane. So. You think the government here would give me a trophy or something, to give me a medal? That's what we need the government to do here. So, Santa speak as Irish supporter, they just make up. I don't know. They give me a job as an advisor to Santa or something like that. That could be good. The government can finally do something useful instead of these big jobs in Europe. They can give me a job. That actually sounds worse now. I'm not going to say the next bit. Merry Christmas. No, I think you need. I won't get that unfortunately. The current Finnish government, I don't think would be too pleased with me getting that nomination. So yeah, maybe come back to me when she's president or prime minister again, and I happily think about it. But no, yeah, the current government might not be too happy with me, especially in that review like I put out. It didn't show up. Funny, maybe it's just Irish Google, could it be? Because literally comes up nearly every time. Like I just look it up again just for shits and giggles. But it's not just me, yeah, like straight away. Oh, this could be the same thing actually. Yeah, it's giving me the same thing as before, but it's coming up. So like I just looked up Santa Marin, Ireland. You can look up Irish too, and it comes up. I can't wait to see it now. It didn't come up for Irish. It's the first time ever actually didn't come up for Irish, I think. Well, stop loading. They know where you are going. They found your location. Um, like it's not coming up for Irish, but it did used to come up. Um, Suppose it just depends. Maybe it's on the region too. Like these people who are sending this to me are from Ireland, so maybe it's just the Irish version of it. Like the Irish version shows this bit more. Um, Maybe so. I don't know. Whatever. Merry Christmas. We're not there yet. We'll probably be live anyway. Wednesday, probably Christmas Eve. Maybe not for long, but yes, this is probably the last stream before Christmas, apart from maybe Christmas Eve, but it won't be that long. Oh, you mean the heels? I don't know how people can walk on heels, like women particularly. It must be quite so. Like I know for like my feet is kills me. Like even now, because I wear big heavy boots. Because you have to wear them when you're in, when you're walking on the roads, etc. But it's awful. It's awful. It's awful. Very hot. Sorry, I'm just saying something there. Where the fuck am I at? People being so nice sending you um, um, catching up with you. I was all catching up on us all. Like years just go nowadays. Like it's no tomorrow. But yeah, like I should be wearing this, but this is obviously a new top. Like I literally got it like if you look at the light, like the video I released, literally the last literally few minutes, I've got it. Like I was hoping to wear this throughout the whole video, but unfortunately, because it didn't arrive in time, so it was only for the last few minutes. Feck that, feck it, fecking brick. Proud of Ted reference. Oh yeah, the money was just resting my cap before I moved it on, just to say, before anybody looks into me. Also, do you know what? I have to say this. Do you remember I said, I don't know were you here at the time, but this is probably back when I did meet her in November and stuff. But after I came back and stuff, I said about it. Like in October, I was contacted by, I think it was a magazine kind of crowd in Nevada, like near California, out that direction in the United States. And this was to do with Santa Mountain's book tour in California that she was going to then a few weeks later. And they wanted to ask me about the book and about Santa Mountain because they didn't know much about her. And I kind of regret now not doing it, to be totally honest, because it would have been pretty funny. Like, let's be fair, it would have been very, very funny. And I probably should have done it for the shits and giggles. Even though it was get paid, of course, it wasn't going to get paid for the roundabout. They wanted to know more information about Santa Mountain and stuff. So pretty much they found me. So it would have been pretty funny. But I do regret kind of in a way. It would have been pretty funny. Some of the stuff I would have said. No, we're not about the whole, but it would have, might have been arrested with the truth in so stuff. And it's like, but no, I should have probably done it. It would have been pretty funny. But in fairness, just going back to the review and stuff, like I have to say that I think it's the most in-depth review of the book online at the moment. Like there's obviously media companies that have done it, like reviews and stuff. The New York Times and stuff done a review, but not to the extent that it was basically a media article. It wasn't like a video and stuff. I think a video is a lot better to explain stuff than writing things down. per Gordon Brown, yeah. But yeah, so it was a place in Nevada and stuff. But yeah, I probably should have done it. Like, it wasn't like a huge magazine, but it was a huge magazine in a few places in Nevada. So I probably should have talked, because they did want to know more about it. Yeah, no bother, Sasha. I talk to you later. Thank you for stopping by, and asking asking tough questions, um, particularly to do with Santa Mara. Very difficult questions. As I said, the money was just west of my account. If anybody asks any questions, um, you know, connections. The word connections, though, is such a word to use. Connections, you know. Yeah, exactly. That's that's what I'm alluding to. Alluding to. Allegedly, of course, too. In the game, not true. But anyway, thank you seriously. I appreciate it. In all seriousness, I chat to you later. We will probably hear Wednesday or so, or Tuesday. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Also, you want to know a weird thing too? Like there's an event in the United States going on, like Turnpike USA event. They literally have Charlie Cook's tent. You know, the tent that he was in when he got shot. They literally have that up right in the event, and people literally can take photos and videos at it, like in the tent, where somebody was literally killed and assassinated. It's a bit weird. I don't mean to be that thorough, but it's a bit weird. No unfairness, but it is. The tree. Oh no, we couldn't have that. Yeah, it can get much weirder out there. Some of the stuff is very very weird. Like, I've seen literally people online, like in the open too, like talk about mass shooters and stuff like that. Like, literally have pictures of mass shooters on the wall and stuff like that. Some of them are very disturbed. Like, I think them people are the most dangerous kind of fanboys and stuff. Um, because some of them literally, it's quite insane. Some of these people, like, yeah, and then some people that committed some atrocities, like really bad atrocities. I've seen literally people like being fanboys for them online, so like it's really bad in some cases. Um, like, some of them literally go to bed at night like with cardboard cutouts of mass shooters and stuff online. They kill literally innocent children in the classroom. Like, it's really fucked up, that stuff. Um, like, I've seen this stuff and it's really fucked up. Um, and you wonder why like, particularly the West people, for their opinions. Like, in the UK, they're more worried about what people are saying. Like, them kind of things, they probably should be spending their time kind of looking into them people to be doing that, because it's very dangerous when you see that kind of stuff. People that idolize people that literally commit mass atrocities. Um, but there is obviously other weird stuff. Like, there's weird stuff I have seen on the internet and stuff. And it's quite insane. It's quite sickening in a lot of cases. But people are entitled to do whatever they want to do. But still, it comes to a point where it's very dangerous and some stuff. No, not like Santa stalkers. What are you talking about? Um, Disgraceful. But like, just going back, like, we remember I was talking about the thing that happened to Santa Maria. Like, she was stalked by somebody. Um, Back there in January, actually Christmas, just actually this time last year. But there is like fan supporters like myself. But I'm not going to go around to Santa Marin's house and stuff like that. I wouldn't do that. Simple as that. Um, but there is people that take it to another level and stuff like that. But this fellow particularly that stalks Santa Marin, he just hates women. Like, he purely just hates women. He thinks he can use them pretty much and abuse them. Like, he thinks he can control them. That's what his opinion. Because there's not just these first instance, these many instances of doing this in the past. So it's not just this occurrence. Like, he wasn't even a supporter of Sam. I think he just picked her randomly. He probably didn't even know who she was. He probably did, like, fairness, but he must have known who she was. But I don't think he even was because she's the former Finnish prime minister and stuff. I think I don't know, he took it into his head. Like, he thinks he can control women. That's what I take in it. But like, he wasn't like a huge fan of it. Like, all of a sudden, he kind of must have come across on the street or something like that. But it wasn't like he's a supporter and stuff like that. Like he'd probably know who she was. That makes sense, but he wouldn't know much about her. But anyway, regardless, anyway, hopefully he'll be deported because he has a court case coming up in February. They're going to bring him up in charges of disturbing the peace and stalking. Yeah, like I wasn't weird or anything with Santa Man. Like I literally had 11-minute conversation with Santa Man, so and she knew who it was and stuff like that. Like I'm openly here. Like it's more the people that I'd be more concerned about that's in in the background and stuff. What I mean by that is there's some fan accounts of Santa Mountain and stuff, and they're anonymous and they don't show their face. Like I'm here, like she knows who I am pretty much. So I say like she knows herself who I am, and she met me and stuff. I wasn't weird at all with her. Thanks very much, Aaron. I'll chat to you later. Thank you for stopping by. So you get me, and she totally trusted me, like and that's to be totally straight. She did totally trust me. Like I could tell by talking to her, she totally trusted me, which is very very good to hear. It's very nice to see too that she trusts me. Because if she didn't trust me, like I was literally talking one-on-one with her for the majority of the time there, until like her secretary was there, but way over the distance and stuff. So, and obviously because she knew who I was and stuff. So, but it's the more the people that are not showing their face online and stuff. Like there's some fan accounts claiming to be Santa Mountain supporters and stuff, and you don't know who they are exactly, and that's what's concerning in some regards. I'm not saying they're not entitled to support Santa Mountain. I'm happy the more the merrier, but one or two of them might be a bit sus. You don't know what I look like, but yeah. I'm going to take off this top because it is actually getting warm. So just give me 2 seconds. Because it's starting to get a bit warm. Oh. Just getting a bit warm. Just getting a bit warm, so I said to just take it off. Go back to this one for a moment. Because it just gets warm. And this room, it just gets warm. And then you just can't. Excuse me, sorry, I'm burping. But yeah, so we only got 2 Christmas cards this year from subscribers. And I only sent out 3 Christmas cards. So pretty bad. I literally have so many Christmas cards there I could have sent out and nobody wanted them. Disgraceful. But yeah, no, it's good to see that she did. I'm happy with that. And I'm happy to see the other people around her too trusting me too. Like around her. Did I say around me? Around her. Yeah. But no, but I'm not saying you don't know who it looks like and stuff. But I'm saying like I'm more open. Like these particularly people, like when I was saying about mass shooters, fanboys, mass shooters and stuff. You can see their faces, of course, but you don't know much about. They won't give much personal. Like pretty much, I'm very open about who I am and what I am, etc. My whole business pretty much is nearly online. If that makes any sense. So yeah. It's more the fact too, particularly when it comes to women and stuff. A lot of men, like fanboys, you could call them and stuff, think they can kind of control them and stuff like that. And it's a bit sus in a lot of ways. Not even just speaking of Santa Mountain's fans and stuff. For other people, I've seen other celebrities and stuff, like the men particularly, take the control the women and stuff. Like who was it? What there was a music singer once, like I don't know who it was, but I remember like the whole fans tried to like few of the men fans take the control, etc. 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 But they think they have more power. Something that's weird how to describe it, but no, it was not that cold. It was not raining here, but it was all right. It wasn't that bad today. But yeah, I do recommend you to watch the review of Hope in Action. And remember about the courage to lead. As I say, probably not do too well. It's not likely probably going to get 100 views or so, but should look at it's done now. I put the effort in. Basically, it's there if anybody wants to watch. I suppose that's better way. Because I do go into a bit of detail. Like I will put up the video, as I said during the summer. Like I had to record it and all, but it was 2 hours long. This is 4 hours. But the other one was about why the picture turned up. The other one. So it won't be Christmas. He's not going to come before Christmas now, and it doesn't matter because literally why I was so upset because I wanted to do the recording, like the review of the book, like literally in the like with the new wall, if that makes any sense. So that was that. Yeah, just making sure the books are fine if I haven't done. We also got like small pictures of the thing too. Like I think these looked actually the best compared to the one there looks good, of course, but it's just the light. But I think these ones look very good too. Like the put there photos. We have a few of them. But there you go. So there's loads of stuff. No, unfortunately not. I actually did think about it, like having a postcard. But what I was more afraid of, to be told, if one or two bad people got it. What I mean by bad people that just kind of rip it in half and just do a video of it and stuff. And I would be a bit upset about that, to be totally honest. To be totally fair with you, I would be kind of a bit upset if somebody done that. We might see about it in the future, but that would have upset me a bit. So that's why I didn't really do it. I did think about it, but I didn't do it because of that. But we probably can see about it at some point. Maybe, but I'm not sure. I think I have enough Santa merchandise for the moment. I've already got the picture of these put there. A good lot of them have 10 there. Well, not 10 actually. Sorry, 5. Sorry, not 10. And then the T-shirt and stuff. I'm not really taking the anything else yet. Yeah. We did think about a phone case, like my phone case. I did think about getting a phone case of it, but we wait for a while. There you go. But now we have enough fridge magnets, so you should see them out of them on my fridge. I'll take a picture someday of them. But yeah. But I do think they turned out well. Like they did turn out well. So I do feel bad. Like just looking at the picture when I was looking at it the other day, I do feel bad for the women in the background. Also, this woman here in the background is a famous woman too. Like she's a big producer. I don't know if did I tell you that, but this woman in the background, like, is a big Finnish producer, like of films and stuff. You can probably can't really see her that much, thankfully, but I do feel sorry for the women, like in the background, the other women here. You can kind of see them a bit more, but I'm sure they won't care with it. But I suppose it is the modern world now. You don't really need people's consent, unfortunately. I know that sounds a bit sus, but particularly when you're at a public event and stuff like that. But yeah. So yeah, I think we have enough Santa merchandise for the moment. But we see, Anna. But I don't think we ever do merchandise on the channel and stuff. If I was going to make a post scout, that'd be about probably it. But as I said, I did think about it. But the only reason why I didn't want people destroying them, like on purposely. Uh, if you get what I'm saying. Um, see, so give me a moment. But anyway, are we all looking forward to Christmas? Going on from talking about standing around, like it was at this stage, like literally even when I go to work, like the main thing that's always talked about, I forgot to say this actually, I was talking to a councillor, like one of the councillors on Cavan County Council, and they literally even said about it, and I think it was even talked at the municipal authority meeting, in Santa Maria. Like I think it was, nobody said, like somebody mentioned it to me that I was mentioned off the record, but I'm not sure about that. I haven't asked any of them about it. But I presume it might have been because it was a big thing now. Like people did talk about it a lot. But yeah, the council's a bit afraid at the moment. What I mean by that is he thinks I'm a bit more. What's the word he used? A bit more outspoken now, than I was before. Like a bit more dangerous in terms of that. But again, he's Fianna Fáil, so what do we care about what he thinks? But yeah, he's a bit more afraid on that because he thinks I'm a bit more outspoken, a bit more encouraged to speak up a lot more clear and stuff. That's what he's seen because I was only talking to him about 5 minutes at most. But he said it to a fellow later on, like another fellow that knows me, that knows him. If that makes any sense. I happened to come across him about an hour later, and then he said, "Oh yeah, I was talking to councillor. I'm not going to say the name, but that's what he said. But so there you go, fighting them, putting the fear of God into them. I think the most frightening thing for them is they don't know what I talked about exactly to Santa Maria, and I think that's what they're afraid of a bit. They don't know exactly, and I won't really say exactly. Like I talked about a few things, but I never went into like word for word everything. You know. That's a good question. I probably will make a whole video talking about that because I never actually sat down and talked about it pretty much, and I probably should, to be honest. I think that's what's going to happen before New Year's, that I will make it for New Year's Day, just talking about it along with my usual thing on New Year's. Because I only kind of mentioned it like in a 3-minute video when I was over in Finland at that time, and to be totally honest, I was too overcome with excitement and stuff. Like I think you can see it in the video because I did look at it the other day, and you can kind of see them trying to trying to focus because it was just I was very overwhelmed, to be honest. I was very overjoyed, and I was just too pleased with myself, and still am a bit too pleased with myself at it. But yeah, I was too overjoyed about it, so I kind of had, even though I'm not kind of calmed down over it yet, to be totally honest, I don't know what I ever calm down over it. I know I'm fangirling a bit. I can feel myself fangirling a bit, fanboying a bit, may I say, fangirling, conformed. You know. Oh, ho, thank you. I'm delighted to hear that. Now, that's my main goal now. To hopefully change a few people's opinion on Santa Maria. Hopefully. So at least if I can at least change it somewhat for people, I'm happy to hear that. Because she didn't have to treat me as nice as she did. That's why she didn't have to. She wasn't obliged. Even though you could say, it would have been the worst thing probably imaginable for her not to. Yeah. Basically. It's not a wallpaper. No, we're not going that far. As I said about the Mirage thing, we did think about it for the wall, but it would have been insane because we could have had a bit of 100,000 euro, not 100,000, but 10,000 definitely. What the fuck? Yeah, no bother going base. We probably won't be here for much longer. We'll probably be only here for another 10 minutes, at most 15. So no bother at all. No bother. No need to apologize. If you ever need to pop out, this is just for everybody. If you ever need to do anything, don't feel like to apologize. We all have stuff to do. What day is today? No, All in Live is not. Like I was popped in the other day to All in Live. Um, like just off the record, I suppose, for a second. I know on YouTube and stuff you can't be off the record, but just off the record for a second. A lot of people, a few people in DMs and stuff were asking me about Ireland first. Reply won't work for some reason. Like your voice reply will work. Oh, my voice reply will work. Where is that? Could be just a glitch. Because I did respond, yeah.
Hi, Queen.
Yeah, it is working for me, yeah. So it might be just you might have to just close and reopen it. But it's pretty much, you can see the description of it. See, it's only 30 seconds, so but I presume it's just like a glitch and stuff. Yeah. Because it worked for me there. I'm not going to play it out, but I do like them, that device replies. Even though I literally have to one stuff out of my mouth. Because they are only 30 seconds. Oh, Neve, you're going, sorry. You have to run to the shop. No bother, Neve. I'll see you later. I'll probably be gone by the time you come back. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll chat to you again. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it says so. So just probably close your app and then reopen it. But it's not like a life changing message or anything. It's just better than kind of typing it. Yeah, I know, but I literally told you about that story. Like I was just coming off the plane, like coming from Ireland, like literally about a minute after that, did the trip from Rockstar Games. Like as soon as I stepped foot into Finland, I got the notification. Yep, GTA 6 is delayed again. Fuck you. But it was all the better for me. I'm delighted it's delayed to be honest, because it's just going to be hectic when it does come out. But Game of the Year definitely. What do you mean 2025? You mean sorry, not 2024. Oh, you mean the Game Awards? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, like the most anticipated game. Yeah, I thought you asked me, but my most favorite game. Yeah, it was the Game Awards. Yeah, the most anticipated game. So yeah, I said we go for another few minutes. I know, not long. Oh yeah, 2025. Yeah, they did. But I do think Kingdom Come Deliverance was robbed this year. The Kingdom Come Deliverance should have been Game of the Year, 100%. There's no doubt about it. Like it was pretty much stolen from them. Like to be totally honest with you. Like I don't know. I only played. I have Kingdom Come Deliverance. I only played about an hour, about 3 hours, 4 hours maybe. But it's a good game. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance is a good game. I only played that so much, but it's like 100 hours or something like that. Like I never get around to playing it. But yeah, definitely was stolen for them, pretty much. That's the only reason why we didn't do a live stream on it, because it's just far too long, and we still be here pretty much doing it. It's Firewatch, yeah, but not like of this year. I mean, Like Firewatch came out about. Are you talking about another maybe the one we played? Remember we played that back a year ago? So I think it was a cool game if Firewatch that time. I remember Green Face being here too, and he was just glued to the screen too. Hope in action. I remember about the courage to lead. So yeah, anything else? Because we probably were going about less than 10 minutes or so. We just kind of chill. How does that sound? We just kind of chill and chat and all that stuff. I know that's kind of what we've been doing all live stream. Like compared to other live streams, like the person that looked on the hair, very little to say. I didn't vote for. I don't really care about the Bajillions. She's no addition to anybody, the Bajillions. The same as if Hedda Humphries, there's no addition to anybody. They do nothing, pretty much. They're good for nothing, if you may use that word. So I don't really care. I have literally not looked even. I don't think I know about it. She might got her thumb up, and that's about it. Yeah, I say so, but I don't know where she follow politics. Cause, I don't know. I suppose it's hard to know. But whatever she wants to do, of course, she can be anything. Sanna Mowen did send a book too about her mother. Like she always said it, and even when I was over in Helsinki and stuff, when she was on the stage talking about it, she said her mother always said you can be anything, even though they came from pretty much nothing. She said you could be anything, you can do anything. To Sanna Mowen, she encouraged them. Now she said the best thing to do with a child is show them love and affection, and encourage them, to do encourage them, give them encouragement. Because she is right in what she said too. It's always good to know that somebody believes in you, and your parents are the number one people that believes in you, regardless of what you do. That you can do it, that you can succeed. What we were talking about next year or this year when? Like at the moment, I just kind of accept that it won't be done until probably end of January or middle of January. I pretty much have accepted at this point. Yeah, like Finnish people are very modest. Not modest, but they're not boastful. That's okay. They're all kind of happy enough when it comes to that. Until the current government came along. Swedish people, maybe not so much. Yeah, but the Irish people too can be very cocky. Some Irish people can be very cocky. You have to twist their arm to talk to a Finn or something. Which are you talking about? Like Finnish people and Estonian people get on well. The two of them get on very well. Oh yeah, you mean that way? Yeah, sorry, I didn't know. I thought you were saying they don't like speaking to Estonian people. Yeah, they only talk when they have to. But Estonian people, not so much. Estonian people are a bit different. But Finnish people more don't talk unless they really, really have to. Not so much for Estonian people, as far as I know. It's more Finnish people than that. No, I wouldn't say Estonian. As far as I'm aware, no, I wouldn't say it. Say Finnish people, definitely. But anyway, I think we might leave it there for tonight. So, is there anything else to say or any questions about the video? If you get a chance, please do give it a watch because it was a lot of work and it would be appreciated just to get it out there a bit. I'd like it to do well-ish. Like, I'm not saying 1 million views. I'm not looking for 1 million views. But just to do well-ish, I'd be happy enough. Particularly because it took up pretty much all week. So it would be nice just to get to do a small bit well. And I hate to be boastful. But yeah, so I pretty much think that's it. Unless there's anything else. But yeah, we'll pretty much be back. We'll be back probably Wednesday. We won't be long, probably. Or we might do it Tuesday. We'll see how we get on. But most likely Wednesday. But we'll get back to our own new uploads Monday. We do 1 or 2 videos Monday, and probably 1 on Tuesday. So just to get back to a few things we have to talk about. Because we didn't talk literally anything else this week, but sad amount. Of course, a very important topic, of course, but there's other things to be discussed, and it's relating to the Irish Republic. Um, but yeah, so yeah, take you, Evan. I think we leave it there. Then. That's all she wrote for tonight. I'm going to probably relax to be I think I've solved it after this week. So yeah, take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and enjoy. If I don't see you before Christmas, enjoy your Christmas. But hopefully, I do see you anyway on Wednesday. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.